Big news coming in, and Donald Trump there threatening Iran, saying that we are locked and loaded and ready to go. This is amid the ongoing protests in Iran, with the US president that has issued a strong warning, saying that if Iran kills peaceful protesters, US will come to their rescue. Aditya Rajkal, my colleague, with us. Aditya, take us through what Donald Trump has said. Time and again, he does say these statements, and what has he said in regard to Iran?
Well, Divya, it's a very stern warning coming in from the US President Donald Trump. This comes as the civilian unrest in Iran escalates. There have been violent protests that have been underway all across Iran over the last 6 days. There has been violence, protests, and even the protesters have been using arms in several areas of Iran. Till now, 7 people have been killed. That's what the reports indicate. And Donald Trump now saying that if the killings escalate, if the Iranian regime indulges in the killing of the protesters and civilians, then the United States will be forced to intervene. Now, this warning also comes hours after Donald Trump had met the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and Trump had spoken in detail about not just Iran, but the situation in Gaza as well. But even as the civilian unrest continues and escalates all across Iran, these are anti-regime protests where they say that the mullahs need to move out and the democracy in its true fashion needs to be restored all across Iran. Donald Trump has said that they are locked and loaded. That means that the US Army and the US command is very much ready, locked and ready. They have preparations underway. If there is any kind of an eventuality and if the killings increase in Iran, then the US will be forced to intervene. Already, the United States has imposed several sanctions on Iran. Diplomatically, the relations have been sour over the last many years. And now, even as the anti-regime protests escalate, the US now sending out a very strong warning to the Iranian regime and the Iranian government that they will not tolerate the killing fields in Iran, where the civilian movement is being crushed completely. And there are several reports of clashes in which the IRGC and the police and the armed forces in Iran are clashing with the protesters. Until now, 7 people unfortunately have lost their lives.
Right, this at a time when Iran has promised to respond harshly to any kind of aggression from the side of the United States.
Well, that's right. Of course, as I said, the relations diplomatically and otherwise have not been good between Iran and the United States. You would remember just a few months ago when there was a 12-day war between Israel and Iran, there was intervention from the United States as well. In fact, the US B-2 bombers were used to storm the new Iranian nuclear facilities, completely decapitating them. And at the moment, even as the civilian unrest increases, we have seen these protests for a very long time, be it protests against the hijab, be it protests against the Iranian regime, the mullahs, and now these protests have escalated with the civilian groups really coming across. They are attacking the Basij forces, they are attacking the IRGC, commands, and any, government buildings all across Iran. So several reports of arson, rioting, and violent protests being witnessed. In several reports, we are being shown images and videos of protesters also using arms against the security forces. So clashes continue even today. And now a stern warning from the US president saying that Iran needs to control itself. And if it continues to kill people, then US will be forced to intervene.
Right, after 7 deaths have been reported, Donald Trump there taking the social media site Truth, saying that we're locked, we're loaded, and we're ready to go. Thank you so much, Aditya, for getting us those details.